What's up, Rockstars? Today I have a very important video for you. This is a huge turn of events. It goes to show what community does. It goes to show what power consumers have. And it goes to show what happens when practices don't reflect respect towards the consumer. There's a lot to uncover here and a lot of theories to dispel. So I'm going to actually cover the root of the problem, where I'm coming at, all that kind of stuff right after this. Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. If you appreciate the videos just like this, where I'm independent from the game developers and I can tell you exactly how I feel because I make videos for you guys, the consumers, not the game developers, so they can glean what consumers want from videos, from comments like yours that you do on these videos. So thank you so much for that. If you can support even $1 a month, there's a link down in the description below. Thank you so much. By the way, let's just go ahead and dive right in. So this is fascinating. Before I cover anything though, I want to, well, okay, I'll cover something, but just to give you a tease of what's going on so you guys know, but because I don't even know what the thumbnail is going to be. This is an emergency video. This is not the video I planned. I have several videos planned. I have this unboxing that I had planned of like all these games that I can't show you right now because, so there's like spoiled, don't look. So they're just sitting on my table because I was going to film an unboxing, but I have to make this video. CMON made another campaign. They quickly followed up. This is their third in like a month because they did, or you know, however long. It's been longer than that, I guess. But they had Marvel Zombies, and they followed up with their owned company. So it's still CMON, their 2LM RPG campaign, and now they have Cyberpunk out. So they are like spit firing out these really quick here. But this has been the slowest funded CMON game I have seen it in a long time, especially one with an IP. We'll be doing some comparisons soon. I'll be talking about what's going on, especially in the comments section, what people are saying, what the issues are. It's not just shipping, though we'll cover that because it is a number you would not expect to see up front like this. It's ballsy to say the least, a lot like some of the other stuff they've done. But before I do that, I do want to start this video out just saying a few things. Just like in my last video, I am not hateful towards CMON. I do not hate them. Hate is such a strong word. Like if Hitler was alive right now, I would hate Hitler. I dislike some of the decisions that they make as a company, and they're just a company. That's why it's kind of hard to hate an entity, if that makes sense. It's not an individual person, and I try not to hate people in general. So this is not some kind of hate train towards CMON. That's not what I'm here for. I'm sure there are other channels. I know there's some indie guys out there that are very angrier than I am about stuff. I get passionate, and that passion kind of spills over into some emotion, but calling it hate, I think, would be very inappropriate. And as such, I just want to say that be respectful to other people. I know that not everybody's respectful to my commenters. Not everybody's respectful to me, and that's fine. Let them be the poorer person for it. We can be better, and we should lead by example. And that example is being respectful to people, because at the end of the day, people are what matter. Now, companies are not people, so I don't care so much about companies. I can't make the company cry, but I might make a person cry that's involved in the company. But that's. I mean, I could say I don't like the color blue, and that might make somebody cry. I can't help everybody. Anyway, just wanted to clarify that, and to prove that I don't hate CMON, I have given out 2 Game of the Year awards in my time on YouTube, and they have both been CMON games. I have given them thousands of my dollars. I was just recently doing so with Masters of the Universe, their campaign there. I love a lot of the games CMON makes. I really do. I've already played Massive Darkness 2. It was not a terrible experience, and I bought the all-in for it. I didn't buy the all-in for it, and I did decide to play it because I hate the company. So let's just dispel that right now and get that silliness out of the way. There's no hate involved in this video. With that disclaimer, let's jump in. So Cyberpunk 2077, Gangs of the Night City, the board game, a very long : and title, but this had a different title when Eric Lane was working on it. I forget, After something or other. I forget the exact name of it. It had a working title when they announced his leave. They mentioned some of the games he was working on, one of them being Cyberpunk, which is kind of adapting their... the closest game you could probably compare it to is The Godfather, also by CMON, also made by Eric Lane, where it's this area control game, and then they kind of added the cyberpunk to it instead of the Godfather IP theme, and they've added some narrative elements. But for the most part, that you're kind of doing the same sort of things. It's the same style of game, so it's an area control game. So they've put this on, and it has funded abysmally. It didn't even fund within the first hour. I know indie games that do that, and it's not because they have some super, high goal or whatever. They have 100,000 goal, which you'll see is actually quite common. It's not unheard of, and we'll go through their last few campaigns. And actually, let's go ahead and do that. So let's go with their last few games, which happen to be all IP games, so it's very easy to do. So they are at 183,000 right now. It's not the full day. However, the majority of their funding has already happened. The first day is the majority of the funding of the campaign, and the first few moments of the launch, the first few hours, are the majority of that day's funding. So while this is not the final day one number, it will not be significantly deeper than this. Even with the time zone things, people know when things launch, especially on Tuesdays, it's very, very formulaic, and we'll talk about formula in a moment. But Marvel Zombies obviously did around almost $3.25 million on the first day. Definitely a big day for them. And that was $500,000 that they had put there. And then Masters of the Universe, which was a much lower, and people commented this, that it was kind of lower on the thing. And part of it was because it didn't involve EU. So this was not even a worldwide release of a game, made over $600,000, almost $650,000. That was a $200,000 funding limit there. And then we have Marvel United before that. This is in order, so this is going backwards in time. They made almost 1.2 million the first day for the X-Men expansion to Marvel United. And again, that was at a 300,000. Notice, by the way, the wildly different numbers. They're all, kind of around the 100 to 500,000 range, right? It is funny how they do that. And I'm assuming that's on purpose. Those are very nice round numbers. And then, of course, there's Cyberpunk at 182,000, and that's the majority of what it's going to get. So it's not going to get 600,000. Though if it is, I'll make a video clarifying. Hey, I was wrong. Somehow EU woke up and oh my gosh, they were like, this is such a great deal. But let's be honest, it's not going to happen. So what's going on? Why is this so messed up? What happened here? Well, let's actually go first to the campaign page and the game in general. This is a misuse of an IP. And what I mean by that is it's an IP, but it's not a good fit. The reason Marvel Zombies works so well is because the Zombicide works fairly well with the Marvel IP of being a superhero with superpowers and doing those, right? Cyberpunk 2077 specifically is based off the first-person shooter RPG video game, and that isn't here at all. It's an area control game with you get like there's two plain Yahtzee dice. I hate those dice, by the way. You can't even be bothered to put special dice. Dice are one of the cheapest molds you can make. It costs you almost nothing. It's very easy to do. You don't need to do the bare bones. That's a money saving thing because you don't have to do any mold because every manufacturer already has those. You're just putting it into plastic. But whatever. Getting sidetracked. It has two dice that you roll to determine where things are, but that's really it. You get these items and stuff like that, but again, it's an area control game. It's very abstract from that, and it's very abstract and removed from the theme. So the theme looks kind of cyberpunky, and you're seeing similar names and similar art and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like the IP, and I feel like it's kind of a misuse of an IP. One of my patrons made a kind of a similar example. He's like, what if it was like a Star Wars social deduction game? It's like, well, yeah, it's Star Wars, but it's a social deduction game where you play as like the Senate leaders in there. It's not really like feeling like Star Wars. It's not like Star Wars Rebellion that gives you that feeling of Star Wars, right? Star Wars Rebellion is a good example of using that IP and really owning that IP, right? Or even Legion, and doing the thematic battles and stuff like that, or a multitude of other IP games like that, right? You could there are a dime a dozen. This isn't really a great use of the IP. So that's the first fault, right? And notice I'm not getting into shipping yet. I'm not getting it. There's a lot to cover here, okay? There's a lot wrong with this. Shipping is only one of them. We'll end on that. And it will go quick though. So bad IP use, it just doesn't, if I played the video game like that was amazing, I'm glad they finally patched all the garbage bugs out of that game. And then we're like, oh my gosh, there's a board game, sweet, what do? Oh, you like move people around abstractly on a map and read cards. Okay, yeah, I mean, sure, right? So anyway, how to play, you have this. Choose your story, control the gangs, activate your gang units, hire famous edge runners, earn street cred, and live in infamy. That's it. That's your gameplay explanation. So if you honestly are not wanting to read the rulebook, which is a short rulebook, by the way, it's about 18 pages. It's 9 pages, two-sided in the PDF, which they do have listed, and it is formatted. It's an easy read. That's it. That's all you get. So for an IP game, the idea of the IP is you're getting new people, new blood in that like the IP, right? You're getting new people. You're expanding your scope, or you wouldn't pay for the IP. It wouldn't make any sense to pay for an IP that you're not going to try and make more money off of than what you paid, right? So that's where that expanded scope comes in. More people are interested in it. More people are jazzed about it. If you're new, you need to explain what the game is. There's a reason why my Darkest Dungeon Details video is one of my highest viewed videos ever, because it was an IP game where people are used to playing the video game and are then interested in the board game but don't know what it's about. What is this game? How does it play? You need to be able to provide that. So that's another missed opportunity for them, that they didn't do that sufficiently, I feel. Now, additionally, it's the cost. $110 is fine. It's actually lower, and it's lower because there's less available. So, I mean, if you look at what they have, they don't even display it well. I've talked about showing your worth. Putting one miniature with a ×3 does not show that well. How many minis you get? You have to start doing some math because you can't just even count them. So there's 9 there, but it doesn't look like 9. So visually speaking, it looks like 3 minis. Okay, and you get that throughout the entire thing. So it's not done visually well at all. They're better at running campaigns at this, which is why I feel this was rushed. It came very quickly beyond the other 2 Kickstarters that they did just recently, and it just feels rushed. There's not a whole lot of the campaign page here, and honestly, they are underperforming what they normally do in the craft of running a campaign page, which it's a skill set. You have to learn what works and what doesn't. They know what works. This doesn't work, and they should know that. Okay, and then they have the edge runners here, and then a list of components where again they list stuff like a double-sided game board, but they don't show you the other side. Double-sided game boards is a perfect example to show both sides, and guess what? That looks like more because it is more, and you're visually showing it's more. People had to ask what the second side is. It's just variable player count. It's not a variable map. It's the same map, just kind of shrunken down for less players. And then the game boards and stuff like this, and like this is a little bit better. And then stories, so they list like single-digit numbers, like 7 of these and 7 of these story cards, 9 of these. That's almost double digits. And it just, oh, look, there are 6 guns you can get. Wow, 6 guns. Wow. So it just seems very low. And the important thing is, day 1 is the most important part of any campaign ever by far. It sets the complete tone of the rest of the campaign. So if your value isn't there day 1, you will struggle. It happens all the time. I've seen campaigns fail because they would have eventually had that $110 worth or whatever their asking price is, where it's like, oh my gosh, what a great deal. But when people first see it, so often the only time they visit that campaign page, they say, that's it, there's not a whole lot there. And they move on, and you've lost that sale forever. So that's really bad too. Now they are unlocking stretch goals now. And then additionally, they have a single video with a single creator showing it off. They don't have any other previews. They don't have any other interviews or anything like that. And that sort of lack of public outreach isn't very good. The discoverability of your game is not very good if you advertise on one YouTube channel and you advertise on your very own Facebook page. So if CMON's writing their own stuff on CMON's Facebook page, only people who are already following CMON are going to do that. Now you might have some advertising and stuff like that, but seriously, getting the word out, getting exposure, especially within the community for those core backers, is important. And it doesn't always have to be a developer run through. Just interviews and stuff like that can really help. But yeah, so there's just a lack of that. Then they finally did do stretch goals, very small, 5,000, now 10,000 stretch goals, and then some shipping information. That's it. So we arrive at shipping. Before I cover that though, I just want to say that the updates are the typical soulless, very small, very unpersonable updates. If you want to see a different kind of update, go check out Madara's latest update. That thing is a freaking book on its own where they put a ton of effort into it to talk about their game and explain their game and hype up their game, and obviously are talking from passion. As opposed to this, where you get a picture of the other one sentence, another sentence, a picture of another one sentence when it unlocks, their story, and then some more about their story, but nothing really about their gameplay. So we have unlocking these stretch goals, but I can't be excited because I have no idea what he does in the game. What does he do that's unique? Why should I be excited to have him as opposed to other things? It just isn't, there's no gameplay here. And honestly, I suspect it's because they don't have the gameplay here. Again, I feel this was rushed. And if you don't have it, you can't share it. So you're unlocking these things without even viewing their card. We don't know what makes them unique, what their stats are, what abilities they have, or whatever it is they might do. It's just a miniature with a different look. And that's all it is. And maybe that's all it will be. I don't know as a consumer. Nobody does because they're not saying it. It's because I don't think they actually have it. They are very much rushing this. And I think it's painfully obvious they are. So let's go back to that shipping. You can go ahead and look at it there. For my US, which is the most common viewed group here, that is $60 for the core pledge. That is the one box plus stretch goals. And that is the estimate right now. The problem is that the last time they did an estimate, they doubled or increased even more the shipping in the Pledge Manager just 2 months later. So that's the worry now. So if it's $60 now and $110 pledge, that's over 50% of the cost of this game is that, which means it's not $110, it's $170. And when you put that at $170 for some minis that, as far as we know, have no gameplay purpose, and then some other minis with no gameplay purpose, a handful of story cards and some tokens and a single map. It's bare bones. Lots of repeated sculpts here. It very, very, very bare bones. And so that's the problem. Is it just doesn't seem like it's, super like, oh my gosh, this is such a great deal. It looks like it's going to be a smaller box than Marvel Zombies with a base price of $60 just to ship it to you. I'm going to be ending on an important tip for you guys. And it's not the $1 club. I have a better tip for you, a personal experience I'll tell you guys about. But let's jump to the comments because this, I think, is the last piece of the puzzle. But now they're at 182,000. It just, back up to 183. So, it's bad. They actually at one point lost a stretch goal. They unlocked it and then a lot of people canceled or lowered it or whatever. And they went under the stretch goal. If that's happening day one, it's bad. It's bad. This is really a turning point for CMON, I feel, because they've struggled with this before. They have been removing comments. They've, I think, given up on that. But for a while, there was a guy not cursing, not making crazy accusations, nothing like that, just commenting on the fact that shipping was an issue before and he's concerned shipping is now. And they were removing his comment repeatedly. The dude posted like 5 times. They had to do the same thing where they turned off comments on their Instagram. They had to do the same thing where they were removing comments on their Facebook group because people are upset. People are frustrated and it's permeating everything. And these kind of groups of people that are upset at which when you mess with people's money, that's what happens, right? When people feel robbed, they get angry. You don't mess with people's money. You could insult the religion and probably get a better reaction than that. But you take their money when they feel it's unjust, you got to watch out. And obviously, CMON now needs to watch out because it is permeating everything and they can affect the entire tone of a campaign and they will stay for that entire campaign. And it's hard because even if you have something positive to say, you're going to see those comments and you're just going to move on. You ain't posting a comment there because they will just attack you relentlessly. Now, do I think people should react negatively to people who are posting positively? No, you should not do that. Don't post a comment on somebody's positive thing saying, either negative to them or just negative in general. You don't need to party poop. Now, if you want to make your own comment and voice your concerns, more power to you. You should do that. If you want to warn other backers, feel free to do that, but don't rain on people's parade. I don't think that's right. There's plenty of comment space for everybody, I think. But let's go ahead and take a look at these comments. And there's 12 even since I started recording this. I refreshed it right beforehand. And this is like the freaking middle of the night in the US. So it's very early in EU and very late here in the US. Okay, only back at a $1 for CMON. And again, I will end on an important thing here. It's in the comments, so I'm going to get to that comment and then stop. Okay, CMON campaigns because shipping will be 3 times what they estimate it to be. Again, people are hurt by this. I'm sorry for my squeaky chair. You can have $1. Good luck with the project. For those who are new to KS, do not trust CMON estimated shipping costs. The actual shipping price of the previous project has gone up almost double in some regions from their estimation, with super slow response and no apology to backers. I myself pledged $1 just to give a comment, and I will cancel before the project ends. This is a consistent thing you're seeing where people are literally doing this. And there we got some numbers here too. Thank you for letting me join the $1 club. As it stands, approximately 1,598 backers are currently backing this game above $1. That is 63% of all pledges, or approximately $175,780 worth. In other words, 37% of backers are at $1 day one. So a lot of people are holding off. I'm going to talk about that. Please, even if you don't watch the rest of this video, skip to the end and hear me on what I'm going to say, because it's good advice for you in general, and it's something I will be doing in the future as well. So I'm going to be doing what I preach. I already have, and I will continue to do so. You'll save money. Meanwhile, it took comparatively an age for this one to reach its funding goal target. Again, it didn't even fund it an hour. In fact, I think it was like 2 and some change hours before it even funded. So they launched this thing, and it struggled to get to their lowest 100,000 goal. All the others blew past higher goals. Did you notice that? The lowest one was what, 300,000, I think? Again, super slow, super slow. I haven't seen the overall pledge levels this low on a CMON game for, well, I can't recall when. I'm sure it was a long time ago. It's almost as if people are angry about something. Laugh aloud, I guess you reap what you sow, eh? Very, very true. Remember when they had 500,000 stretch goal gaps in the massive or Marvel Zombies campaign? Yeah, they were huge because they were making a whole bunch of money. Depressed ding sounds in the distance as we hit another stretch goal. These used to be part of the fun, but this campaign feels wrong for some reasons. Gestures vaguely at the comment section. I think that's actually wrong. Comment section is an issue, but I showed you in the updates, they're not really celebrating their own unlocks. It's very minimal, just a couple sentences, and it has no gameplay info at all. It's almost like they're not even excited about this game. They have a few lines of text for their explanation of how to play the game. They have posted the rule books. They posted one playthrough, and that's it. And since then, they haven't really spoken about the game at all. And if a game creator can't be excited about their game, why are the consumers supposed to be excited about it? So I think that almost has less to do with the comments and more to do with CMON's just lack of, just general menace around this. Menace. Meh is what I'm going for. The ness makes it sound kind of weird, so forgive me for that. This is a wonderful comment. So Aiden, you did a fantastic job here. How does it feel? How does it feel to treat me like you do? Just like the, how does it feel to treat me like you? Okay, you guys know it, right? So again, I'm really into like the retro synthwave stuff. So 80s music, Stranger Things, it's all the rage right now. You guys know what's going on. Here for $1 for the pity party. Treat backers with respect. Amen to that. You reap what you sow. Treat backers with respect. Respect means explanations. It means apologies. It doesn't mean perfection. It just means the respect at the time of day to actually, and the care and showing that. And people can know. People can figure it out when it is and when it isn't there. Okay, a $1 pledge for me. Shipping forecasted to be the same as the cost of the game. Could be double by the time the PM opens. So a whole bunch of this kind of stuff, right? I love this comment section. CMON being treated like EA. Well, yeah, you reap what you sow. Shipping listed at 60, so it'll be around 120 PM. I don't think it's actually going to double, by the way, from the 60. It's just, it's funny that they are doubling down on that price and trying to do it again. It's obviously not working for them. Eric Lang said anything about this game. He said the shipping is stupid high. That's hilarious. Okay, so let's go ahead to the part that I want to really talk about. I know it's down here. Let's find out. Can we? Okay, right here. I can't wait for the retail version of this to pop up on Amazon for $70. Also, Game Steward, Zulu Games, Miniature Market. People mentioned, they mentioned the Game Steward, stuff like that. Here is my thing. This is a great way to do it. I long since said I'm going to get Marvel Zombies at retail for cheaper. So I'll pay less than anybody who backed it because I'm not paying for shipping. I'll pay retail prices. It'll be cheaper than what you guys paid for it. And I'll get the game potentially even sooner. And so I think that's really great to do because I also get to support my friendly local gaming store. Now, I actually had a comment from the guy who runs the Gaming Goat, and he talked about how CMON is actively trying to cancel retailer pledges through their KS because of the pricing issues, and they're not getting nearly as much profit because they charge them less in shipping than you. So, I mean, I wasn't supposed to say that, but I mean, you do a book order, you get some savings. You help fund their game and make it a possibility. Well, screw you. That's kind of their attitude, it seems, lately. So that's one issue there. But going through a store, even if it's an online store, can save you a lot of money. I have a friendly little gaming store that I actually live near. It is not the cheapest gaming store in my area. I could drive 10-15 minutes to get to a cheaper one, but it's like $5 difference, and this one's very, very close. It's really in my town. It's literally like 3 minutes away. My wife has bought pretty much all their paint. I buy Warhammer stuff there. I buy board game stuff there. I'm there actually quite often. I've even done like game meetups there. So anyway, I backed the DC deck building game through them, and you know what? I saved money. I get it cheaper than anybody who clicked the pledge button because I can go through them and they get a savings in shipping. They get a cheaper cost, but when they sell it to me, they still make a profit. So the game devs make a profit, right? Because they're not losing money on that retail deal. My friendly little gaming store makes a profit because they were able to inflate the price from what they paid, but still make, a profit because it's inflated, but be less than what I'm going to do. And then they can give it to me with a little bit of savings. Now, how much did I save? About $25, $20. Okay. So it's not like a crazy amount, but with how many games I back, and I don't know if you're like me, but if I could save $20 a game, and that's probably actually one of the least amounts because the retail pledges are really controlled in that one. They can't get all the other add-ons, so I have to get the other add-ons, through the pledge manager. But still, $20 is another. That's their playmat right there. I can get the $20. $20 is $20 off shipping. Right? $20 is, all this other stuff. And often, again, these retailers get their games sooner. So I get to support a friendly little gaming store. I get to save money. I might even get the game sooner. It's a win-win-win, and everybody made profit. Feel free to investigate this for yourself. If you live near a friendly little gaming store, see if they're willing to do a retail pledge, or if they're going to pledge this or do a group pledge or anything like that. See if you can't do it through there. Now, not every company does this, especially like CMON. But if that's the case, then do what I'm doing with the Marvel Zombies and get it at retail. You will pay less. It's very rare to do any otherwise. So because the shipping is expensive, $60 is what they're saying they're going to charge you now. Imagine what they'll charge you in that pledge manager. $60 makes this a $170 game. That game is not going to be $170 in retail. So if that's what you want, get that. If eventually you want the Kickstarter exclusives and you feel that huge FOMO and all that kind of stuff, you can go on eBay and get it, or go to a GameSwap and get it. GameSwaps for the local gaming stores, you can make a steal on. I know a guy who does that all the time, and he gets great games and is able to trade the ones he doesn't like to get that. So he doesn't have to pay anything for it because he knows he doesn't like this game or doesn't play it. He swaps it out. He can do that. There's a ton of ways to get that on the cheap. You can save yourself some money. You don't have to give up this hobby. You don't have to say no more Kickstarters. You can literally support local gaming stores and still get the game that you want and save money. So that's my advice to you guys. The dollar pledge works, letting people know that there are issues, letting the company know there are issues with your wallet and with your words is helpful. Just with your wallet doesn't help. Just not backing something, they could think, oh, the IP is unpopular. Oh, well, area control is unpopular. They don't know what it is. You have to tell a company what the issue is. You can't just silently not buy their stuff. That tells them nothing. Okay? You have to give them feedback. This is good feedback. Okay? But at the end of the day, they only care about your money. So if your words are empty, it doesn't do much. You guys are giving a clear message to CMON, a clear message to all game creators to show more respect to backers. That if you're going to charge a whole bunch more than your competitors, you need to explain why. Don't manipulate them. People know when they're being manipulated. People know when they're being lied to. And while they've had a feeling for it for a while, and it took me a while to actually get some game devs to talk to me about these issues and actually come to me. I didn't even make up my video about the pricing thing. It wasn't planned out of the blue. Game devs came to me and said, hey, what CMON's charging is some grade A BS. Here's our numbers. Here's what we're paying. It's not the same. It doesn't add up to that.
Multiple companies did that. Very successful companies making millions of dollars, shipping out tens of thousands of games. These are not companies hurt by CMON. These are not companies that, just need to stick it to CMON or anything like that. They honestly see the same issue I do. So when I draw attention to it and I see questions about it, and we all are like, oh, is this right? And they're giving us no data. CMON was providing no data, no numbers, no nothing. People feel disrespected. People feel manipulated, and they're showing it. So yeah. Is this the death of CMON? No, it's not the death. Are they doing well financially? No, they haven't really been doing super well the last few years. Will this help them? No, I don't think it will. It's kind of interesting, but it goes to show that an IP painting on a theme that doesn't make sense for an IP cash grab that's obviously rushed and hurried isn't doing very well if you haven't earned the right to do that. And what I mean is there are companies that make really great games and consistently treat their companies or their customers with respect, and those customers are willing to give them an olive branch and forgive a lackluster campaign page that doesn't show a whole lot of the game. We've seen that before, and that's earned. CMON has not earned that. CMON has earned the ire of backers. So feel free to check this out. I will link it down below. If this is a game that you want, don't be afraid to pledge it. You do whatever you want with your money. It's your money, and it's your right to do whatever you wish to do it. You don't have to listen to some guy on the internet or some people in the comments about what to do it with. However, I would suggest at least taking a look online, seeing if you can go through either an online retailer or a friendly local gaming store, even better, to save yourself some money, or consider just buying retail. That's it, guys. That's all I had. Again, I have future videos planned. I got a really cool unboxing. I got to show you guys like a mega unboxing. It'll be really cool. I got some game to play. I still need to play Madara to get that review out for you guys. I got another news video. There's some pledge managers closing and some new things coming up. I got a follow-up for my shipping thing coming out as well, addressing a lot of different concerns, looking at more data from more companies and working with them to come to the bottom of all of this. Guys, if you appreciate this kind of coverage, this sort of video channel that really looks critically at the game industry from the perspective of consumers, please consider even just donating $1. It does greatly help. This is an expensive hobby. You guys know that. If you're willing to give $1 to CMON, perhaps be willing to give $1 to here. I know that might sound like begging to some of you, but that's all I'm going to say on it. So I'll leave it at that. If nothing else, though, a like is much appreciated, or a comment saying that you do appreciate this sort of content. Thank you so much. With that out of the way, have a great rest of your day. Talk to you guys again real soon. Bye, guys.